if you will. I've had a lucky break or two. Feel like I had a date with destiny.
Hello, I'm Demo Dan. And the reason I call myself Demo Dan is because I just spent my entire life making demos. And I'm wearing these glasses today to give myself a sort of pop star look. And there's a reason for that, because I got a rather an interesting story about Mott-the-Hoople. Now, Mott-the-Hoople, probably best known for their hit All the Young Dudes, written by David Bowie. Okay, meanwhile, I'm Demo Dan, and I'm in this attic getting nowhere fast. But that doesn't matter. But it's an interesting story what I'm going to tell now. This has got nothing to do with name dropping at all. Now, when I was a young lad and I was at school, you know, and before I actually got involved with music business, should we say, I was at school, and I one day was in the corridor after school had finished, just hanging around in the corridor because I heard this noise going on, and I went up and had a look onto the old stage, and there was a guy playing drums and some other guys there playing guitars and things, and the guy on the drums was Buffin, who ended up being Mott-the-Hoople's drummer. And one of the other guys there was later the bass player with Mott-the-Hoople, and he is known as Overend Watts. Okay? Now, seeing them playing was really the first time that my mind thought, oh, I better go out and buy a guitar. So I went out and bought a guitar eventually, and we also had a band at the time called Karakorum. This is going right back now to 1969. And now the drummer with Karakorum was Martin Chambers, who ended up with the Pretenders, among other things. Okay, are we following this? And also at that time, in the early days of Mott-the-Hoople, they were playing in London, and sometimes Karakorum was actually the support band at Mott-the-Hoople concerts. Now, these lads went on to become good, well-known names in the music business, and I spent all my life songwriting and basically made loads of demos, which is why I'm called Demo Dan. And I'm still waiting for someone to take on something so I can make a bit of money, because I don't actually have any earnings for the last 18 months, and I'm in this attic and I'm practically on the street. But that doesn't matter at all. Not really. Now, the thing is, a few years ago, Karakorum, okay, the band that I was in, we decided to have a reunion. So I had a reunion, and I ended up the great pleasure of singing on stage while Martin Chambers of the Pretenders is playing drums. And in that room at the time was Overend Watts. Okay. But usually I don't actually see Overend Watts hardly at all, because I'm in Holland and they're all in England or America. In fact, for me to visit Overend Watts is a process, because he's a recluse, very serious recluse. And to actually for me to see Overend Watts, to visit him, is like visiting the MI5. Right? All these codes and goodness knows what there is. Anyway, but that doesn't matter now. And Overend is a very lovely guy actually, but because he's a recluse, we don't really have hardly any contact at all through the years. And now what happened after Karakoram did their reunion, in this year, 2013, Mott-the-Hoople have done a reunion tour, and they in fact just finished that. This is now, I'm talking to you on the 19th of November, and it was only last night, the 18th of November, that they, Mott-the-Hoople, were at the O2 in London, the supreme final concert of their reunion tour. So it's the big moment, and of course Overend has got out to play with them. Now, unfortunately, Buffin, the drummer of Mott-the-Hoople, is quite seriously ill, so they have a replacement drummer who is Martin Chambers of the Pretenders, who played, as I just said, with Karakoram with me. Okay, so from that point of view, I've got a little bit of interest in what Mott-the-Hoople are up to, of course. Now, the first day of the Mott-the-Hoople tour, I actually rang up Verden Allen, the keyboard player of Mott-the-Hoople, from Holland, and said, look, I can't get over, I got no money, I'm, you know, practically a bum, so we say, but that doesn't make any difference. But I said, look, give my regards to the lads and wish them well on the tour, and especially for Overend Watts, because I don't see him and he's a recluse and blah, 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 blah. There we go again. And anyway, I rang them up and I wished them well. And then they did their tour, and I'm still here in the attic, right? Now, meanwhile, because I've got nowhere with my demos and my songs through the years, some of you will know I've been making these unusual films. And in fact, 2013, on average, I make one little crazy film a week. So at this stage, I'm up this year to about, should we say, 45, 46 films. This is going to be one of them. So, in October this year, one of the films I made involved pirates. And I thought the opening scene, I'm going to, for the first time in my films, I'm going to be a little bit violent. So, for the fun, you know, as a joke, it's pirates. And so I start the film off with a scene where I slash with a pirate sword, which this is this plastic item here. You can have a good look at it. Alright, now I had this plastic pirate sword that I get from a joke shop, and I've got a scene a bit violent for the fun, and I'm going to slash a plant across like that, you know. So I slash the plant like that, and then because in the films I make up most things as I go along, you see. So I thought, now I had a little joke about it was the plant was belonging to the wife, and I thought, what did the wife call it? And I thought, I'll have a laugh here. So I say in the film that she called the plant Overend Watts. Oh shit. Wife's not going to be very happy about this. Her favourite plant. She called it Overend Watts. Oh dear. She called it Overend Watts. Overend Watts. Overend Watts. Overend Watts. This is not a film about name dropping, and say it has nothing to do with being pop star at all. It's just a funny thing that for totally unknown reasons, I decided that we say this plant was going to be called Overend Watts, all right? And I've just been on the internet. I got out of bed just about 10 minutes ago, and I go on the internet this morning and I look at YouTube and I think, I'll have a look and see if Mott-the-Hoople, you know, playing at the O2 in their reunion. I'll have a look. And so I find a little clip, and it says that they have done a song they don't do very often called Violence, you see. So I'm looking at this thinking, oh, there's Martin playing the drums, and they're doing this thing called Violence. And then I notice Overend Watts, and I'm going to show you the clip in a minute. And all I can say is that it's funny because through the years living in this attic, and I don't have a television, and there have been times when I've come up, had ideas, you know, and you have this whole thing about coincidences, you know, and fate. and predictability and I can't even say synchronicity, whatever that word is, synchronizing-icity. So I'm half asleep, you know, and I get the computer, I go on to YouTube and I find Mott-the-Hoople Reunion, their supreme final concert of the tour, and Overend Watts has come out of retirement from his recluse wherever he's been, you know, in some sort of Robinson Crusoe island, you would say, and I am pretty well gobsmacked by the coincidence, or whatever you want to call it, of what I see. And here's a little clip, first of all, of me at the Karakoram reunion. You can see that I'm being a rock star as well, and I got Martin Chambers just playing the drums with me there, and he's just come back from a whole year of touring with the Pretenders at that time. And then I'm going to show you the clip of the film I made with the old pirate sword, right, which was a little bit violent, you know, cutting a plant off, and but it was, yeah, some things you have to do for the humour. And then I'm going to finally show you the little clip of Mott-the-Hoople playing last night at the O2 in London, and you can see how Overend Watts comes out as one of the supreme rock stars of our times. There's no doubt about it. And you can see and decide for yourself, is it coincidence? Is it predictability? Is it just chance? Is it just one of those things? So I've dropped my sword now. Cut my foot off. Or is it, I don't know what to explain, but I'm pretty well think that it is one of the strangest predictability, little synchronicity things that has ever happened to Demo Dan, the lonely old man. He tried to write a song, does the best he can. Overend Watts. And now, just to complete the circle of coincidence and predictability, we'll see what we got here in the attic. Demo Dan, signing out. How about that, eh? Overend Watts. Love you, man. Hey, keep rocking. Peace. No violence, eh? No.
Call it coincidence if you will. I've had a lucky break or two.
Now I'm going to put the camera off, get these pop star sunglasses off and go back to sleep.